Alright, make this again, because I missed a few things first time apparently. And this made it even harder, but this BIS list is far off perfect. It's mostly to help people initially and understand what I'm probably gonna be going for. And that is pretty much set in stone apart from what to craft. So we're gonna start off with tier sets, and that's gonna be our helmet, shoulder, chest, gloves. That is gonna be helmet with crit haste, shoulders with mastery haste, tier chest with verse haste, and then gloves with haste versa. Neck might be lariat, but due to that requiring an embellishment, I haven't made sims, I haven't checked it out. We might go for this belt from Old Harmon, which has very high haste and some mastery, which is fine. That is situational. Don't know. This is also required from Vault, right, to want it. There might be other things that we might want from Vault, but I'd say farm this from Mythic Plus, and then we'll get back in a few weeks when we've got a few sparks to spend or whatever. Back is from the last boss of Raid, which might be fine from Heroic version, but definitely BIS from Mythic version, but good luck getting that. Then we've got another cloak, which is should be 447. Is high versa. And then we've got a crafted cloak, which is, to me, is a bit interesting, but it requires an embellishment. You get good stats, right? But a passive heal of about 700 per second ish is the average, and you get a shield. It's a small beat death, but doesn't sound too bad for me. Depends on what we require. If we require more damage or if we require more tankiness. If we're too tanky already, you do not go for this. But that's another embellishment, as I said. Then we've got wrists, and we've got from last boss raid is 450 wrists, but as alternative we've got this stat wrists from Brackenhide, haste versa, main stat versa. Waist is from Brackenhide, it's haste versa. Then we've got legs from Neltharians, which give high haste and some mastery. Then we've got another one from Underrot, which gives you basically as much haste as mastery, a bit more haste, in case you have a lot of haste already. Then we've got feet, which is haste versa from Underrot. There's also some items that are coming from Vortex Pinnacle that I think are gonna be remade and are not in this list, by the way, so look out for that once service come live. Ring 1 is from House of Infusion, very high haste and some versa. It's like 2 parts haste, 1 part versa. Then we've got a haste mastery from Neltharian's Lair. We might also have so much haste in the end of this that we might want to go for a high versa ring instead, which exists in Raid. Then we've got trinkets. We've got plenty of trinkets. Last boss trinket, which is probably BIS in damage. It's passive mastery and a unused effect with I think 2.5 minutes CD, but deals massive amount of damage once used. However, that is purely offensive, and only the mastery is partly defensive, nothing else. Then we've got Ominous Chromatic Essence, which is main stat, and then equip effect is passive secondary stat, and also giving some secondary stat to allies, kind of like Icon, right? It's not a proc, however, it's constant, I think. Then the third trinket is Elementium Anvil, Pocket Anvil, sorry, and that is going to be our unused trinket with 1 minute CD and buffing your shield slam. And since our shield slam is the main thing that we're fucking doing, buffing your shield slam to sometimes do a stellar flare, dealing a lot of damage. It's out DPSing most other trinkets, and if used well, it could probably be on par with Beacon for us warriors. Probably. I think Beacon would still do more damage, but Elementum Anvil still gives you strength and not fucking mastery. As situational trinkets, we've got a Ward of Faceless Ire, which might be a big deal because it could turn you into a paladin and sack your friend. But it gives you a defensive to a party member once every 2 minutes, or to yourself if you so need it. But I would recommend trying to get it in your bags. Then Beamouts Festering is some alternative BIS from Not Raid, which is defensive trinket, does some damage to yourself and some damage to an enemy, I think, then puts a shield on yourself, pretty big shield. Then we have a offensive on proc, just chance to do some damage. Then we have Harlan slow that dies, which gives haste mastery crit on proc. Weapon is Forge Storm. Don't think about getting anything else. I think even if it's some item level slower, it might be worth it. And shield is a bit questionable. We've got one from raid, and it higher item level. I think I would go for that if I would get it, but I'm not gonna be raiding with a guild, so I'm not gonna kill the last boss. But that is for 50 item level. Shield is valuable at high item level due to its block chance and block chance scaling, which yeah. Block chance good. No, not block chance, block value, sorry. Then we also have a crafted shield, which requires an embellishment. It's got not ideal stats, but quick mastery will take it. We'll probably have a lot of haste verse already, so it's not too bad. Deals some damage. Not necessarily bad, not necessarily amazing. I don't know. Would have to try it out. This is another situational shield, which I would recommend farming from the start, which has high Ursa. Pretty high Ursa, so it's not bad. This, as I was saying earlier, this BIS list is not perfect. It doesn't contain enchants. It's just to help people from the get-go understand where to go, what to look for, and what dungeons to maybe try to spam more than others. I will get back to what I choose to craft, but I think nothing is set in stone. I would have to feel what Prot Warrior is like. Like, I think Lariat is a bit inconsistent. It's a proc. I don't think it's needed. I do not think it's that big of a deal. I think the undulating spore cloak with some passive healing is pretty nice. Like it's a pretty big deal considering we don't have too much healing. Our healing is coming from our leech and our rage spent. Rest is a shield, which is ignore pain, right? And that's not gonna heal us. It's gonna shield us. You know, the difference between that. So healing is a big deal for us if we can get it extra. The other thing is the shield, which is just purely damage. So I don't know. It might also be hard to get a 447 shield. So if nothing else, maybe I'd use my first pack on the second week on that. It depends on what you get involved. I do not think I would craft this shield if I got a 447 shield involved on the first week. But then I'd maybe craft it on the following week if I didn't. It comes down to what vault you have as well. You don't just think you're gonna get this stuff. Like for an example, I'm sitting with fucking 415 boots. You know, you're not gonna get everything that you want, especially if you're not raiding. I hope this video helps. Thanks for watching.